Tonight, we are digging into the crisis in the classroom. State Superintendent Ryan Walters is suing the federal government.
Walters wants the government to reimburse Oklahoma for the cost of educating immigrant children. Fox 25's David Chasanoff spoke with Walters this afternoon. David, how much money does he claim our state's owed?
Adam Wendy, here at the State Department of Education, Walters claims Oklahoma is owed approximately $474 million. He says now is the time to hold the Biden-Harris administration accountable. This lawsuit calls out the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, ICE officials Pete Flores and Patrick Leitner, and the Biden-Harris administration.
What we've seen are Kamala Harris and Joe Biden allow this border to be overrun, allowed illegal immigrants into the state of Oklahoma and into our schools.
In the 20-page document, Ryan Walters says resources that should benefit Oklahoma children are instead being redirected to address the federal government's failures.
We want to make sure that the $474 million Oklahoma taxpayers spent to educate the children of illegal immigrants is reimbursed back to our taxpayers so that it can go back into our schools and make sure that we're getting the best education possible for our kids.
An immigrant advocacy group is calling this lawsuit utterly ridiculous. Walters filed these papers in the U.S. Western District Court of Oklahoma.
Frankly, I think it's embarrassing that while we are in the 49th ranking in the U.S. on education, our superintendent continues to focus on vilifying and further isolating immigrant and undocumented students instead of actually doing his job.
When asked how he would respond to people who don't like what he's doing, Walters said President-elect Donald Trump has a clear illegal immigration mandate.
We're doing all that we can to support President Trump on that agenda. And the first thing is holding those individuals accountable who created this mess for Oklahomans, for Americans. We believe every state in the country should join us in this lawsuit, and we're proud to be the state that's holding Joe Biden and Kamala Harris accountable.
So it's a pretty extensive lawsuit, and Walters tells me he believes the federal government has about 30 days to respond. ICE tells me they do not comment on any ongoing litigation. Reporting live in Oklahoma City, David Chasanoff, Fox 25 News.
Thank you, David. An Oklahoma lawmaker is focusing on supporting public education. State Representative Ellen Poggemiller has filed 5 bills she believes will help schools and their employees ensure students are successful. The first would reinstate the School Counselor Corps program, which allows districts to hire additional school counselors, social workers, and mental health professionals. The second would give school teachers a $5,000 raise and a 6% pay increase for support staffs. We've got another piece of legislation that aims to create guardrails to ensure adjunct educators are on a path to become either traditionally or emergency certified. Representative Poggemiller also wants to remove chronic absenteeism from the Oklahoma School Report Card and replace it with a school community survey. And the final education bill would decriminalize excessive unexcused absences while establishing a progressive intervention program through the school. This program would utilize a compassionate and effective approach for addressing absenteeism.
An Oklahoma lawmaker trying to take some power away from the governor with a new bill. Should this one pass, the governor would have to share the ability to make state Board of Education appointments. Fox 25's Tom Ferguson spoke with the bill's author. He joins us now live from the Capitol. So, Tom, how does the process work now?
Wendy, the governor currently gets to appoint all 6 members with Senate approval, and the governor can fire them as he sees fit. The Oklahoma State Board of Education votes on issues that have a direct impact on public schools. Norman Democrat Jacob Rosecrans says past boards have pushed back against the state superintendent at times, but that he hasn't seen much of that recently.
Bring more diverse thoughts and processes to the board, which right now I see as the biggest problem because it's more of a rubber stamp.
The state superintendent sits on the board alongside the 6 governor-appointed members. Rosecrans' proposal would keep 2 seats with the governor, but also give 2 to the State House Speaker and 2 to the head of the state Senate.
What I'm trying to do is end the chaos and make it to where there are more, just more accountability on the State Board of Education.
Board members could only be removed for cause under House Bill 1054. Rosecrans said removals would occur only under unusual circumstances, such as a board member engaging in criminal activity.
Major decisions that are being made, especially when it comes to rules and things like that, and the standards as well. I mean, this board is a problem, and I want to make sure that we don't have that problem in it going forward.
The lawmaker said elected officials have tried pushing similar legislation in the past and expects this to be another uphill battle. The Greater OKC Chamber endorsed a similar proposal in its 2025 legislative agenda. Rosecrans said he hopes his bill gets a hearing after lawmakers return to the state capitol in February, but said even that remains uncertain. Reporting live, Tom Ferguson, Fox 25 News.
Tom, thank you. A state senator wants students to have access to free feminine hygiene products at school. Senator Nikki Nice says many students struggle to afford these supplies and believes they should be provided in the same capacity as toilet paper and soap. We asked her who should pay for these products to be distributed in public schools across the state.
Well, we are asking for an appropriation of $1.3 million for this to be distributed. It's a small ask when you think about other things that we ask around for as far as bills and considerations.
Nice also believes offering this kind of support to students could even impact things like attendance.
This has been known to create absentees for our students and embarrassment for our students as well. We're asking for this to be appropriated for students to have, again, access for these products.
Now, according to Nice, this is a bipartisan bill, and she's hoping to get support from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle.
Having a 4-day school week in Broken Arrow has been a controversial idea among parents. A new community survey revealed the majority of community members prefer keeping the traditional 5-day school week. More than 7,000 people responded, 71% preferring the traditional school calendar over the 4-day option.
It's a complex conversation because there are so many moving parts to the calendar, hours and minutes and requirements and, professional development and all these little things. So there's that part of it. But then there's also, it's an emotional conversation for people.
Community members are scheduled to meet tomorrow to finalize a plan that will be presented to the school board. Mustang Public Schools investigating a cybersecurity incident. The district warning parents and staff their software vendor PowerSchool targeted in a data breach. The district says schools use the system to store student information. The district says no social security numbers were impacted, but the affected data includes addresses, phone numbers, and emergency contacts. The district working closely with cybersecurity experts to address the issue.
And that was your big story breakdown tonight. You can learn more about Walter's immigration lawsuit and all those education bills being filed at the state capitol on OKCFox.com.
You can check out all of our previous big story breakdowns on our YouTube page. Just search OKC Fox.